Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Ballin' with Bash and Ted. This is Bash. I'm Ted. It's Friday afternoon. We're getting ready for Jags week here. Bash, how are you doing today, my friend?
Doing good, man. Sorry for the late start. It's all my fault, but I'm glad to be here and glad we could do this again.
I always just blame it on technical difficulties, but you're gonna jump on the grenade, so be it. Honestly, I needed a little extra time myself. I had my son's soccer practice at 1, and then I brought these little remote control cars that we've been playing with to play with on the field and the dirt track, and then they have this cool rubber track, like that, like for track and field, but like a 8-lane track that's rubberized, and it goes good with the rubber tires on the cars. So we had a little fun, and then it was a rush getting him down for his nap, and so it helped me to have a little extra time too. So don't feel bad.
There you go. Okay, cool. Now I feel a lot better. Yeah.
Plus, as I was explaining earlier when I was on with Bryant Culp, I've totally been out of it today anyway because I got 3 vaxes yesterday: the COVID, flu, and the shingles part 2, which is a goocher. It's a tough one. And like I was just up, I was congested and kind of feverish, and my head felt sick, like a headache. And then I took some ibuprofen today. That helped. Took a shower. That helped. Coffee helped. I should probably pop a couple more ibuprofen, but oh well. I think I can probably get through the show without it.
Just one of those days, huh?
Yeah, just brutal. They were like, I hope you got the day off tomorrow. And I was like, well, sort of. Not really. I had quite a bit of things to do today, but sounds like you did too. And glad that we're here together.
At the end of the day, we're here. So
looks like we got
Niners.
Red Jet Shell here early. So let's go Niners. Good afternoon, y'all. Team Bash, Team Ted. What's up, Shell? All good. Working on film study. Oh, when I told her we were going to be late, she said all good. Got Bryant Culp in the house. He was on this morning.
Bryant Culp.
We had a lot of fun. Smash the like button, everyone. I got Jimmy Perez in the house. What's up, Ted and Bashar? What's up, Jimmy? Glad to have you. 49ers Chanel. What up, Faithful?
What up, Chanel?
What up, Chanel? Awesome sauce. There we go. There they are. We're here. We're live. Got the pineapples from Bryant. You're saying hi to everyone. There we go. But yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough day. It was really rough this morning. I just got up about an hour before the show, and I was telling Bash, like, I may not be able to put our show together till after the show with Bryant. And I barely even got his show like out and publicized and stuff. And but we did it, and we had fun. It was a good show, and here we are. So saying howdy. Oh, we got Aaron from 49ers First Takes in the house saying, hey, boys. What's up, Aaron? How you doing, buddy? I saw you got Jason Aponte tonight at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. That's a big get, my friend. So congratulations on that.
He has great guests.
Yeah, he does have great guests. No doubt about it. Jet says, happens the best of them. Hang in there. Thank you. Brad says, oh my God, Aaron is here. There you go. Carcast in the house. He has his own YouTube channel too. Make sure you check him out. Saying, yo, what's up? Everybody's just saying hi. We got Danielle Thompson in the house saying, hey, guys. Hey, Danielle. How are you? Get some rest. Yeah, I think, a good night's sleep tonight, and I should be fine. It's interesting, when you get those vaxes and they stick you in the shoulder, and then your shoulders are sore. And I was like, then they're telling me, though, that it's good to actually move your shoulders and work out and stuff like that. That it actually helps with the pain in the shoulder. I never even knew
blood flow. With the blood flow.
Yeah. Oh, pause.
Why? You and Aaron are always like thinking of these weird things whenever I say something, and I'm like, I'm just saying normal things. You guys have all these weird, dirty thoughts. I don't get you guys, man.
Yeah, perverted.
Yeah, exactly.
Brian Colt says, I feel bad. Not at all, man. Like I said, I mean, I felt awful right before the show, but then when we got on, we went live, all of a sudden I felt better. It really helps to the show sometime. And we've had that happen, Bash. You and I, Aaron too, where we're like, not really feeling it, but hopefully once we get on the air, we'll feel better. And like almost every time we do. So
it's therapy. Every time if I come on here with a migraine headache or I'm feeling down or whatever, and halfway through the show, I forget about all my woes and all my worries, and I feel great.
Danielle says, Ted and Bash, can I get the autograph? Oh, come on.
I have really sloppy handwriting. I still have memories of elementary school, just constantly, I don't know, like this traumatic stuff I went through with my teachers in elementary school who always bitched and moaned about my handwriting. So I don't think anybody would want my autograph.
There you go. Nancy Cameron, say hello, Ted and Bash. TGIF. Happy Faithful Friday, Nancy. Welcome. Aaron and Ted are the kings of dad jokes and being perverted. LOL. Yeah, that's definitely was one of my nicknames. Perverted, Pot Ted. I had a bunch of them.
You're canceled.
There you go. Busted. Bryant said, oh, pause. Steve-O Supremo in the house. Pause. The different kind of pause from his doggo there. Looks like a Chihuahua Doberman mix or something, or just a small Chihuahua with Doberman coloring. Red Jet Shell, thanks for coming this morning. Yeah, Red Shell's great. Got a super chat from Aaron and a super chat from Shell. It was awesome. Loving that. Hey, Steve-O. And of course, you guys did a great job.
Shout out to CarCast. I see him in here.
Yep. And I was saying, check out his channel. He has a YouTube channel as well, too. Everybody make sure to give him a like and subscribe. So, Bash, how are you feeling about the game on Sunday?
How am I feeling? Well, hopefully at the end of the day, I'll be feeling great once the game's over. But I'm optimistic, but I know it's not going to be easy. I know it's going to be tough. Good thing is Debo's coming back. Trent Williams is playing, from what I understand, even though he wasn't really practicing too much. It sounds like everybody's locked in and ready to go. So we got Chase Young in the mix now. So Steve Wilkes is going to be out of the booth. Some people are thinking it won't change anything. There were certain people who, I'm talking way back in the preseason, they were like, take Steve Wilkes out of the booth. We don't want him up there. He needs to be on the sidelines. He needs to be cheering on the players. And we all know that he was never an energetic cheerleader type of coach anyways. And he said he felt comfortable in the booth. So I was like, okay, we'll leave him up there if he's comfortable there. He's a secondary guy. He can see the whole field. But, lo and behold, things go wrong. We go on a 3-game slide. And I started having my doubts. And to the point where after the third loss, I was like, if we fire Steve Wilkes, I won't blink an eye. And then people were like, oh, then I had other people jumping on me. Oh, well, if we fire him, who are we going to hire? How are we going to replace him? I was like, you know what? You can't win in this thing. I was like the last guy to say get rid of him. But at the end of the day, man, we brought in Chase Young. It's almost like a move like, hey, look, we got you a beast of a pass rusher on the opposite side of Bosa. Make this work. Make it happen. Get things right. Get your ass out of the booth where you're comfortable. And if you're up there eating hot dogs or drinking coffee, no more of that. Get on the sidelines and communicate with your damn players. And I think if the communication portion helps, maybe that's great, because I heard during training camp, Grant Cohn alluded to this a lot. But everybody's going to get mad at me because I mentioned Grant Cohn. Probably they're going to want to punch me or something. But that's another story. Grant Cohn mentioned multiple times that Wilkes spent a lot of time on the practice field in training camp, coaching his players in and out, as opposed to Shanahan, who doesn't really coach players on the field. Maybe he just waits till film study to do so. But the film sessions, you could say. But Wilkes, at the end of the day, something needs to be changed. Something needs to be stirred up some way, somehow. Some people are like, oh, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to fix anything. You have to do something. When things aren't working, you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So a change has to be made, whether you like it or not. And hopefully it works. It's not a guarantee it's going to work, but hopefully it works. We can only hope for the best. And that's it, man. And I do hate early games on the road, but it is what it is, man. It's the NFL.
There you go. Yeah, I felt like I was pretty vocal about it, saying that I didn't think you needed to leave the box, that Fangio and Dan Quinn both are DCs from the box and do a good job from up there. And, there was quite a few shots of like the other folks in the box up there with him like celebrating after the defense had a great play, and him being just stoic and not even cracking a smile, let alone like a high five or anything like that. And so, like, I feel like just putting that on the sideline, it might not only not help, but it might hurt, the whatever, sort of joy or enthusiasm is there. But hopefully he'll be a little different. I think there was some pressure applied because Matt Canada from the Steelers, the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, left the booth and went to the sideline, and the Steelers did well against the Titans. So I could see that, the Niners, Kyle and whoever, the powers that be, might have said, well, Matt Canada did it, Steve, so maybe you should too, type of thing. So I wouldn't rule that out as part of the motivation for doing it. But hopefully I'm wrong, hopefully it's just the thing we need. Hopefully it gets the troops fired up. Hopefully it gets the defense playing better, gets the defense tackling, all those type of things, because the defense has been a little lackluster lately, I would say.
Yeah, I don't remember what the statistics were, but I heard it on a few podcasts already. It's scary, man. I don't know what's up with Greenlaw and Fred Warner. I didn't notice it until the last game, maybe the last two games, maybe more so the last game. I just noticed that that Greenlaw and Fred Warner were not themselves in the last game, and some crazy stat pulled up. I wish I had it in front of me. I don't know the numbers. Maybe some in the chat might know, but just the amount of missed tackles they have. I believe it's like at this point in time in the season, maybe they've missed 3 times more tackles than they usually miss. Correct me if I'm wrong if you know about the missed tackle stat, but at the end of the day, they just missed an abundant amount of tackles that they should be missing, and we all know that doesn't fall on Steve Wilkes. Maybe it falls on Johnny Holland or maybe themselves. I mean, these guys got to execute.
No doubt about it. Bryant says if we lose again, he's trying out for kicker. He'll be dedicated and cheaper. I mean, he won't cost a 3rd round pick, that's for sure, Bryant. That's one thing we know. Got Jason, Niner Smash Massey in the house. Hello, faithful. And that's Niner Faithful Radio. Make sure you check out his channel. Give him
and TJ.
Yeah, exactly. Bryant Culp was saying, others saying, what's up? Everybody's saying hi. We got Dion, Niner Game Podcast in the house. Let's hope Young has a tremendous impact. I'm still cautiously optimistic. What do you think about that, Bash?
Kasha. Oh, I know Dion. Dion and I were on last week when we got the trade. I don't know. I'm more of a half glass full person, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how I can say it. Some people are, very pessimistic, or not trying to be pessimistic, but they're just a little cynical and they're not sure how things are going with the team. And I get it. When you lose 3 games in a row, your doubts are going to sink in heavily in your head. I understand that. I just think, like, how in the hell are they going to, I just can't picture this team with all the talent they have, all the good ass players that they have, with the way we've looked last year, with the way we looked the first 5 games. I can't picture us just continuing this skid of losing. I just can't see it happening. I just see them, Brock Purdy went to the farm or whatever, the ranch, whatever he did to clear his mind. Bosa spent, the bye week working out with Chase Young. And I don't know. I just think that these guys may have just, cleared their heads and cleared their minds and put those 3 games past them, and they're ready to start winning again, so we'll see. At the end of the day, they have to play the games and win. So
that's true. Yeah, I think having Debo and Trent Williams back, although Trent Williams isn't 100% sure to play, right? Diana Rossini, a few people quoted it saying that he'll be a game time decision. So,
and we're missing Aaron Banks. That causes definitely concern, So yeah, sure, it's not going to be a guaranteed win. I do I'd like to say I'd have us winning, but it'll be a close game. It's not going to be no blowout or anything like that, especially on the road.
No doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, we'll have Feliciano filling in at left guard. He might be a better run blocker than Aaron Banks, but probably not a better pass blocker. Aaron Banks is pretty good at that. So might be an excuse to run the ball a little bit more to that left side of the line with him and Trent Williams over there. Maybe stick Kittle over there and really gain an advantage on the defense. We'll see. Danielle saying 10 Bash, come coach the team. Ha ha. I think Kyle's pretty good for the most part.
I want my team to win. That's not a good idea. So.
I said all off season he's a genius, other than QB and third round picks not named Fred. But it may be Moody. We'll see. But
that's why it's such a breath of fresh air to get Chase Young for a third rounder when this team does nothing with third round picks other than Fred Warner. So, we finally did something good with the third round pick. It's been a while.
Sorry, Steve. He says I just coughed in my ear. Damn. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm congested from the vaxes I got.
Now I'm noticing your voice sounds a little different. I didn't notice it earlier, but I sort of noticed it now.
It did a number on me. Kicked my rear end for sure. Redjet says, I think it's simple. Get back the identity that got us to win in the first place. If you lose that, you lose games. You lose it all. Makes sense. Danielle says, Nancy, come coach the team. Nancy would be a good coach for sure. Jim Everett the Great saying Ted bust a move. That's from the Breezy Faithful to the Bay video.
Oh yeah, you're in the video. I sent to the subway and they're like, I didn't see Ted in the video. You didn't see Ted. How did you not see Ted? He's in the background. There's multiple times where they show you in the background dancing. It's like,
And then there was a time where I flexed. And then
the time when you're in front of the camera, then you're like,
And then luckily most of the dancing ended up on the cutting room floor, but I'm sure Breezy's saving it for blackmail.
I wish I saw. I wish I could see the unfiltered version of that. Uncut version.
No. I'm so glad that
we so bright that we shining. All we know was the Niners. So faithful to the Bay.
There you go. Yeah. At least so far, it hasn't seen the light of day, and I just hope it stays that way.
I wish I was there. I wish I could have seen it all.
Somi Maris.
I think what's up, Somi? I think Terradome's in it, right? I could have sworn I saw Terradome in there.
Terradome was at Levi's. Yeah.
I'll get the Levi's shoot, but not with you guys in front of the mural. Okay.
Not as much. Yeah. I think he just got there. Or maybe not. Maybe it was just at Levi's. He and his wife met his lovely wife.
Who were the content creators there?
It was obviously Chapman.
Chapman's
Breezy,
barely in it though. You barely see him in it.
Mose, who I confused with Wise when I was on with Gina.
I definitely knew that was Mose. Yeah, I've had Mose
on Wise, and they're like, "No, dude, Wise wasn't there." Ted.
I've had Mose on my channel. I definitely knew that was Mose.
Yeah. And then Terradome and me.
Okay. So how Peachy wasn't there?
No, Peachy wasn't there.
Okay.
Miss Deb was there. She's not a content creator, but she's
she was there. I see her in the video.
Yeah. And Delfetti was there.
Yeah, Delfetti and Barrett's. They've been on the channel multiple times. Really good dudes. So they're definitely in the video.
Yep. And that was sort of those. And then a bunch of other folks are really nice folks that I got to know.
I was just trying to see the content creator community or people who may have been on this channel or things like that.
So I'm just kind of skimming through the chat here. Got Shell saying 49 as you should be. Glass half full mentality always.
I try. I can't be negative. I have been negative before, in plenty of times. Trust me.
Yeah, life's too short to be negative all the time. I figure. Somi Maris says you both look related. There you go.
I don't think anybody's ever said that.
No.
First time for everything.
Time. I mean, we're both big guys, that's for sure. Yeah. So
we could both play nose tackle.
Yeah.
I'm an NFL nose tackle. Like Bill Pickel. Remember him?
Yep. Carcast asked if you ever had a one-on-one sit down with Kyle Shanahan, what would you tell him?
Stop being a dick. I don't know. I don't know.
I would tell him
he does good things, but he has his flaws too.
I would say get a no man, because I feel like there's nobody to tell Kyle no in the organization. It's just like he has absolute power, and that usually doesn't work out well. So,
yeah, who was that guy that we hired? Why am I forgetting his name? It was some running backs coach, and he's kind of like the behind the scenes guy for the Niners. He was a head coach at one point. His name's totally slipping my mind. I had to look up the 49ers coaching staff. Collar guy, former running back. Some staff used to be with the Chargers.
Well, Anthony Lynn.
There you go. Well, when they made that Anthony Lynn hire, I thought, okay, here's a guy that Shanahan can trust, who has plenty of experience around the league. And, it's wishful thinking on my part. I get it. I was being optimistic, but I was like, okay, this guy is going to be the ear. He's going to be the voice in Kyle's ear to tell him, hey, we need to challenge this play right here. Throw the challenge flag, or let's run the ball with Jordan Mason on this drive a bit. I thought he was the guy like that was going to set Kyle straight every now and then when he needed to. But it seems like nobody's ever going to be that guy. It seems like Kyle's just going to be Kyle, and that's it. And we have no choice but to deal with Kyle when he's Kyle. And, God willing, we'll get some success out of it in terms of a Super Bowl. But, there's a lot of complaints from Niner fans, and they say he messes up everything in crucial games. And it's all his fault. So who knows, man? Who knows what's going to happen with Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers? At the end of the day, we're stuck with him. He's got that extension. I don't know. Isn't it like a 4-year? Didn't John Lynch get a 4-year extension? So I'm assuming Kyle may have gotten the same thing. I think they finally released the terms of John Lynch's extension, right?
Yeah, I don't think they've released Kyle's terms yet, but I'm sure he got a lot. Got E. Kim in the house. Master.
E. Kim, what's up, bro? Master Andy Kraft, really good friend of mine over in Texas.
There you go. Bryant saying TJ was there and been in a couple videos. There you go.
Yeah, I saw TJ in the video. He's in the background.
Very nice. Red Jet says, get back to the basics. They ain't what you did in the league. It's what you've done for me lately. Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. And lately it's been a little rough, but we haven't had Debo. We haven't had Trent Williams. Them being back should help a lot. Assuming that Trent Williams is back.
I feel like a comedian that bombed terribly on his joke when I dropped that comment about Kyle initially. And I just thought that would just bring out an eruption of laughter in the chat. But then again, I was wrong. So, hey.
I hate that. You're like ready for explosion of laughter. It's just like crickets. Like, oh.
Cricket.
Dak will Dak, Kyle will Kyle. Oh, man. We really comparing Kyle to Dak? Ouch. I think Kyle's a little better than that. You can give yourself a Char and Ted. Thank you. Travis King. Yeah. He had a big party after we were filming that video that most of the folks went to.
Oh, there was a party afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I saw them
where some of the video was shot there too.
That's what I was going to say. I saw them. Where was that shot at when they filmed that part where they were both on stage and Travis King and Wayne Breezer were on stage?
It was somewhere in downtown San Jose.
Okay.
Not far from, where we were for, was it Blondie's Pizza? What was the name of the pizza we went to?
Blondie. Right. Was it Rosie's?
Rosie's.
Yeah, I haven't had Blondie's
somewhere near there. Seems like a lot of the Niners meetups are in that central part of North San Jose, just north of the SAP Center there. Mm-hmm. And it seems like a lot of folks meet up around there. Kyle's radio silence from the crowd. LOL. Yeah, no doubt about it. He's not really a rah-rah guy, right? And neither is Steve Wilkes. And that was a concern we had after having rah-rah guys like Saleh and D'Amico to help get the team fired up.
Yeah.
Master Vinny Kraft says, I hope Kyle stays faithful to the Bay.
He's being funny.
Blondie's rules. I got the wrong one, Somi. And Somi had asked earlier if I live on the peninsula. Yeah, I'm on the mid-peninsula near Palo Alto.
Yeah.
So
you're a total peninsula. You're the epitome of a peninsula guy, Ted.
It's where I grew up. I went to Santa Clara U. I lived in the city. But yeah, a lot in between South Bay and the city on the peninsula. Daniel Armstrong in the house saying, hey, what's up, Daniel?
Don't arm wrestle him. You'll lose.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, his last name's Armstrong.
Oh. I totally missed it. There you go. At least you got the courtesy laugh on that one. I don't know. I'm a pretty good arm wrestler, Bash. Even when I was a lot lighter. I was a good arm wrestler because I had good technique. I could, the key is to break their wrist.
There's people that I've watched videos of people arm wrestling some skinny dudes against some really big buff dudes, but these guys are professional arm wrestlers, and technique is so important in that sport. It's unbelievable.
It is. I remember when I was only about 180, 190 pounds, I was arm wrestling with a bunch of big 200, 230, 240 pounders on my football team in high school, and I could beat most of them with the technique was the key. Got Jess from East Coast Red and Gold in the house saying, "Go Niners." What's up, Jess? How are you? So, all right. So we think Trent Williams will play. We're certain that Debo's going to play. We're certain that Aaron Banks isn't going to play. Trent's a question mark. Have you done much of a deep dive into the Jags as far as, it seems, they have 3 really good weapons with Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, and Travis Etienne. And then really good defense. Trevor Lawrence is a solid quarterback. But their O-line can be had, and they've got some injuries on the O-line.
Their O-line, I hear, has given up 19 sacks. We've given up about 14 sacks for the season. So I have heard some questionable things about their offensive line. Travis Etienne is a strong rushing and receiving threat similar to a Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, he's not as good as CMC, but he's pretty damn good in his own right. So definitely not going to take him any lightly. Got the stats pulled up. He's got 7 touchdowns on the season. So, Christian Kirk's having himself a good season as well as a wide receiver. And with Trevor Lawrence, I'm not a big fan of the guy, but he actually is doing really, really well in certain aspects. He's actually tops in the league in terms of throwing at zone coverage. And now throwing against man coverage, he's really, really bad. But we tend to run a lot more zone. So do we switch it up and run more man in this game? Who knows? That's going to be really, really interesting to see. But yeah, so I'm afraid that Trevor Lawrence might get hot like these other guys have been getting hot on us lately and start eating up our zone coverage. But maybe we switch it up and go to man because, again, Trevor Lawrence is not good in throwing against man coverage at all this season. He's really bad at it, actually. So it'd be nice if we exploit that.
Part of that might be Christian Kirk. I had Beerly Zach on. He's a Jags fan on a Behind Enemy Lines episode the other day. And he was saying basically that, watch Christian Kirk against zone because he knows how to find all the holes in the zones. Kind of the same way CMC does at the end of every play where that CMC is going to be at the same time as close to the sticks as possible while also being as far from a opposing defender as possible. Sounds like Christian Kirk has a similar type of ability with that. So maybe some of it is Trevor Lawrence, maybe some of it's Christian Kirk. I don't know.
And any idea if Samuel Womack or Darrell Luter Jr. are going to even play in this game? Did you hear anything about that?
No, I haven't heard a word. I would assume not.
Okay.
I would assume
they said they opened
up the games.
No, they said they opened up the practice window for both of them, but that's different than actually playing in the actual game, and being activated.
Yeah, well, I think it'll take Luter at least a handful of games since he missed so much of camp, preseason, even most of OTAs. With Womack, he's a little readier to step in, so we might see some of him.
I just didn't get any word yet in terms of who practice and would be available. I'm actually looking it up as we speak to see if there's any updates on that because a lot of people were saying that Womack can go in there and step in and he can unsee Oliver, and sure, we'd love to see that, assuming he's the better player. But then again, if there's no official word of him even playing, we'll be stuck with Oliver again. And then we've all seen how bad things got with Oliver so far. And it's not pretty. Definitely causes area for concern. No, and Ted stepped away. And I can't click on the comments, but Steve says Jess with all the guests. And Master Andy Craft says, do the Niners have the speed to play man-to-man? Very good question there. I don't know. Mooney Ward looked so much better last year, and seeing Mooney Ward get beaten at time, especially the last game, was really, really irritating. It seems like when Mooney Ward does make a play too, you almost cringe because you have a sense that the refs are just going to throw a flag even if Mooney Ward does make a play. And that's really frustrating in its own right. So this team has to eliminate the penalties. It's just crazy that, we had 5 penalties on us and there was only 1 penalty called on Cincinnati. Hey, I don't want to make the refs a factor, but part of it just goes into the 49ers themselves being sloppy, aside from calls being questionable and not being fair on the other side either. But Master Craft had that question. I don't know if you want to answer. I sort of answered it.
I mean, I think Lenore's pretty quick. Hufanga is not fast, and I don't think Gibson is either. So maybe not. I mean, we know Isaiah Oliver is not fast.
Yeah,
so,
and Womack's a lot faster than those guys. Darrell Luter is decent speed. He could be faster than Oliver. I'm assuming he is. But then again, we don't know if these guys are playing. That's the thing.
Bryant says, I don't think we have the speed to play man. Yeah. I think you nailed it. We got Bebop Jones in the house. Bebop. Let's go 49ers, early game. So Bebop's back in Bethlehem, PA. So he'll be happy to have an early game back on the East Coast with him instead of having to wait for it on the West Coast out here. Yee. Oh, you're stealing it. Steve-O's stealing Rich Kelta's line.
I haven't seen Kelta in a minute. I don't know if he's been streaming at all. It's been quiet.
Yeah. I haven't seen him in a minute either. Mm-hmm. Hopefully everything's all right.
Yeah, I'd say so. I hope so.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine, Shell. It was just my dog opened the door and came in to visit, and then I had to kind of shoo him out. Because what'll happen is if I leave him in here, then he'll start scratching at the door to get out. He'll come in and say hi. But then he'll get bored with me streaming.
Just leave the door open.
Yeah, but then like my son will come running in.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a Husky Corgi Yellow Lab Samoyed mix.
Oh wow, that's a crazy mix.
Yeah, he's about 35 pounds, and he has husky eyes. He's got blue eyes. And he's long and low like a corgi. So here's his blue eyes there.
Oh, okay, okay.
This is him hamming it up. And then when he was, here's a pretty good shot of him too.
Okay, there you go.
And then when he was little, he had he's part lab. And so he had kind of lab ears. They're flopped down. But then not long after, they popped out.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Kind of got ears like John Lynch, huh?
Yeah. So his name's Hamilton, but we call him Hambone is his nickname. Really cute. Great dog. It's our miracle dog because we got him and then we got pregnant with my first son. And then now we've had our second son. And so we owe it all to Hamilton. He's a little fertility idol.
Cool.
Because we tried for years before that and we're unsuccessful to get pregnant.
And there's a Hamilton Talks ball in the chat.
Yeah, that's Steve-O Supremo made the Hamilton Talks ball.
Okay. I thought it was your wife.
No, it's Steve-O. So there's the bunny and then there's a little teeny picture of Hamilton there in the corner. He had one with a bigger picture of him before, but yeah, that's good stuff, Steve-O. Appreciate it. Where else were we? How many sacks for the D or Chase? I mean, I'll go with 2 sacks.
For the defense, I'll say we get 3 sacks.
There you go. That's big. Yeah, I think the Jags O-line is pretty suspect, so that could be. Somi Mero is saying, F that, the refs suck.
Anytime I make a point about something, somebody will start cussing and saying F that, regardless of what the topic is.
Zay Jones and Etienne hit him in the mouth. I don't think Zay Jones is playing. Someone was saying that they didn't think Zay Jones was going to play. He's the speedy receiver, deep threat, who was a Raider and is now a Jag.
He's a deep threat. I was going to say, what do you think? I know, what's his name? Drake Jackson had 3 sacks in the first game of the season, right? And he hasn't done anything since. Do you think he gets a sack from here on out for the rest of the season?
I mean, he's not getting much playing time, so it's going to be really hard for him to do it. I think we might have seen not the last of him, but yeah, I mean, I think he'll get a sack somewhere here or there. I think he will, but I don't think it'll be a lot more than one.
Maybe in Madden, I don't know. Well, I mean, didn't they announce that he didn't practice today? I'm going to pull up my phone to try to find that report. I know somebody sent it to me earlier today. It was here. I'll read it off to you. It says, Drake Jackson knee is not practicing today and is trending towards being out versus the Jags. So there you go. So he may not even be activated for the Jags game. And it just seems like with Randy Gregory in the mix and now Chase Young in the mix, it seems like he's being asked out. Who knows? Well, I mean, I'm not trying to rag on the guy, but it would be kind of funny. I mean, I hate to be a hater, but it would just be kind of funny if he starts off the season with 3 sacks in the very first game and gets nothing since then. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with him, what his story is. I want him to be successful. If Drake Jackson, for whatever reason, finds a way to pile on 5 more sacks between now and the end of the season, that's good. That's good. It's great for this pass rush, obviously.
Yeah. I just think, it's a shame. We all had high hopes for him. We thought we got this steal, getting him in the second round, and it turns out maybe he was a reach in the second round. It's what he's starting to look like, which is a shame. Master Andy Kraft said, I heard Warren Sapp say the modern NFL can no longer win with high-powered defense. What do you guys think? I think you still need a good D, but, I mean, it seems like you got to have a franchise QB anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if we're thinking back to like the Chicago Bears days, that defense was amazing, and they had Jim McMahon at the quarterback, and Jim McMahon's stats were ridiculously terrible in terms of he barely ever threw for any yards. It helped to have Walter Payton as a great, amazing Hall of Fame running back, of course. And and we'll look at the Trent Dilfer Super Bowl, right? Like, do I see that happening again, even with a defense similar to the Ravens? Probably not. I mean, you need a quarterback better than what Trent Dilfer put out that year in today's NFL. Doesn't have to be elite, but I'd say a good solid QB 15 and up, top 15 and upwards, I'd say. But more likely top 10 and upwards.
Yeah, I think so too. We got Red Eye in the house. We got Dub Club in the house.
I never know what Red Eye's takes are. I'll be honest. I see Red Eye always in the chat, and I know he has really, really strong opinions, but it's almost like a blur to me. Like, I never know like if he's like, I don't know. Certain people just stand out to me, and they have these like strong stances on things. And I know he didn't like the fact that I brought on Ryan Hensley the other day, but I don't know where he stands in terms of, I don't know what his 49er profile is, but but maybe I can get to know him through his chats and see what he says. Just curious. That's all.
There you go. It says, assume Trent is out. Damn, weak O-line again. Josh Allen gonna get 2 sacks. Purdy running on every snap. Hard to win games.
Purdy running. So he's gonna say Purdy's gonna be running it. Okay, I get that. I'll say this, man. I was a big Josh Allen fan coming out of college, and I had certain Niner fans tell me I was stupid and he sucks and he's not going to be good in the NFL. I'm not going to name the people who said that to me, but there's a name that a lot of people know that told me that. And he happens to be second in the league in sacks this year or something like that. So, hey, the joke's on you for telling me that I was dumb. I didn't know my football. So
get him. Save those receipts, Bash. Cash them in. Cash them in. Bebop's giving us a laugh. Oh, here comes Hamilton again. Second time. I need to get a door that locks.
Show him. Let's see him.
Okay, let's see if I can get him.
Ted, we still need a good deep pause. There you go, Richard. You tell him.
He saw me coming for him and he went running. He doesn't like to be on camera. He's camera shy.
He didn't want to be on camera. He's camera shy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Red Eye is a Rams fan. I found out. It makes sense. I don't know. Don't forget about Evan Ingram. Yeah, the Jags tight end is pretty solid too. Evan Ingram, he's definitely not bad. Bebop says I see Red Eye on Rombo. Maybe a Jimmy G stand. Allen has 9 sacks.
He said maybe because he watches Rombo. There are people that watch Rombo for years and that thought the world of Jimmy G. I'm like, can we fucking move on from this guy? He's proven that he's fucked up so many times in Niner games that are important and critical. Like, quit acting like he's the reason that why we won all these games.
Yeah.
Oh, you can. Jimmy G won all these games. He won all these games, and he goes to the Raiders. Looks like one of the shittiest quarterbacks in the league. It's like, duh, I told you.
Oh yeah, when he said things got a little weird at the end with the 49ers.
I wonder how weird things are in Las Vegas.
Yeah. He also said that Vegas had better pizza than San Francisco, which I guess Vegas does.
Vegas has a lot of really. I didn't see. I wish I saw that report, but Vegas has. I mean, if you're a pizza connoisseur like me and you study pizza places and which place has the hot pizza spots, Vegas probably has more pizza options. No, but easily by a miles and miles ahead of any city on the West Coast. Vegas has the most pizza options. They have so many pizza spots that have been opened up by New York expats, and they got all kinds of really, really good pizza options out there. Way more than the Bay Area, way more than LA. Yeah.
All right. Well, Bash confirms it. So Jimmy's not a complete liar, then just only when he says that things got weird here at the end, trying to blame Kyle when clearly he's the problem. McNiner in the house. Steve-O's saying, thinking he was a Niners fan had me confused for months. Interesting. All right. I wonder how you figured it out. I want to hear the names. Go Tupac on them, B.
I've never been a too big Tupac guy. I don't know.
No, were you more Biggie?
Yeah, a little more so. I like Tupac more so in the beginning. Let's just say that. I didn't like it, where people thought he was the greatest of all time. I just never agreed with that, but whatever.
Fair enough. Greatest of all time?
Wrong. You're wrong. And I'm right. Responding to somebody in the chat.
The new corollary of defense wins games if the offense can score points. Yeah, no, I mean, that's true. I feel like you got to have a really good quarterback nowadays. I was one of the dummies who was a Jimmy G stan. I mean, I was a Jimmy G stan.
Everybody supported Jimmy at one point. Everybody bought to drink the Kool-Aid. Everybody bought the jerseys. I totally understand.
Week 3 of 2021 onward, after the Green Bay game, I was done with them.
Once the mid-season point of the 2020 season hit, I knew Jimmy wasn't it. I just knew in that 20. And then Steve Young said the 49ers are going to move on from Jimmy G. He said it multiple times to the media, and people are like, no, Jimmy's still our guy. He's still our guy. And then we stuck with him for whatever dumb reasons and didn't move on from him when we should have. And we all know how that goes. But yeah,
there you
Fuck
go.
you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. I got that from a movie called Beyond the Mat. If anybody see that movie, they know the reference.
Love it. People saying hi. Steve-O saying, will Warner end up with the most tackles in franchise history? 240 more needed.
That'd be nice. He just to stop missing them. He's been missing for whatever reason as of late.
Yeah, cut out the business decisions. That would be nice. No doubt about it.
Why call them business decisions?
Oh, because I don't know. I felt like in the Bengals game, I felt like he made a few when I was there.
Where he didn't want to risk his body or something? Okay. Well, he's the same guy who did that flying torpedo tackle against the freaking Rams,
Yeah, the guide Fred missile. I love that.
There you go.
He kind of did it in another game this season. Oh, it was against Pittsburgh where he did it to what's his bucket? Najee Harris. Just lit him up in the hole. So yeah, no doubt about it. Real quick, if you don't mind, I was going to take a quick commercial break and just talk about TTG, my sponsor. It's the Travelstead Group. They're a retail and hospitality logistics company. They do transportation and warehousing for brick and mortar. They do FFE, which is for fixed furniture and equipment. They do OSC, which is operating supplies and equipment. They do new store openings, rollouts, relocations, decommissions, from the first mile to the final mile and everywhere in between. Travelstead has you covered. Let them know how they can help you via air, ocean, or land. They do closed loop solutions for retail and hospitality. Nick and Henry are the guys to talk to there. Great guys. 100% US-based support. These type operations, there's almost always some fine tuning that goes on, and it's good to know when you pick up the phone, you're going to talk to folks that are here and not in some call center overseas where they have no clue what you do. Their website is in the description of the show, my YouTube about page, Twitter bio, Twitter X bio, and Insta and Facebook. If you follow me there, just click the link, check out the video, and make sure you tell them that Ted sent you. Thanks in advance, everybody. Appreciate it. Thanks for letting me pay the bills, Bash.
You're welcome.
So, and we're bashing fans of the same team again. Another day off in the office. Oh, if you know, you know. Rick Diaz in the house. What's up, Rick? What's going on, my PayPal friends? I would like to meet both of these in person.
Yeah, I'd like to meet you too. That'd be cool. I don't know what's with the PayPal reference though.
I don't know either. But hey, if you want to send us money via PayPal, we'll take it. We got Venmo is already set up in public knowledge.
I already have Venmo on my channel.
PayPal works
he says
too.
He said something about Chicago. Even to live in Chicago, I still don't have 49er fans. I would like to meet both of you in person. That'd be nice. What do you guys? Well, I don't know what it means. What are you guys doing? I don't get that. I think we need a translator here.
Yeah, well, maybe at a game sometime. That's usually the best.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know what other game I'm going to this season, or if I am going to game. I'd like to go to another game though.
I'm going to the Bucks. I'll be in the gold mine for the Bucks.
Oh, you are? Okay, cool.
UK folks, yeah.
Oh, you got an invite from Faithful UK?
And then
that's awesome.
Yeah, really awesome.
Let's get ready to drink a lot of water before the game starts, during the game, because they're gonna make you cheer all throughout the game. So
I hear it's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, you might have to skip a stream and not do a stream the next day. It all depends on how good your voice holds up.
Yeah,
it depends. Everybody's different.
No. I usually come close to losing my voice at most games already. Anyway.
Okay.
So and then I'll be at the Seahawks game after we get back from Philly. So those are, and then usually my uncle comes through with tickets for another game, but I don't know. We're kind of running out of time. I haven't heard anything about that yet, so we'll see. Loving the Steve Young jersey. Sheesh. There you go. Yeah, it's right here. It's the 1996 50th year 50-year edition. And I did say that I would replace it with a Brock Purdy jersey if we win the Super Bowl, or even if we don't, if he's balling out like he was for that brief period of time, like the end of the Giants game, the Cards game, and the Cowboys game, I'm not gonna hold it against him if something happens and we don't win the Super Bowl. If he's playing really well, I'm gonna buy a Brock jersey and do the rest of my shows in that and retire Mr. Steve Young. Maybe find a spot for him on the wall back there somewhere.
So there's a Milwaukee Bucks reference in the chat. It said, I don't know why, but I was going to ask about the Warriors. You said you like the Milwaukee Bucks basketball team. No, he's not a Bucks fan. He's a Warriors fan.
Yeah, no, I'm a Warriors. So that's why I got the Warriors.
I do like Giannis. I'm a big Giannis fan. Definitely not a Bucks fan, but when the Bucks were in the finals, I was definitely rooting for them because Giannis is easily my favorite player that does not play for the Warriors. So shout out to Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's a very hard name to pronounce, by the way.
Indeed. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I was rooting for the Suns because they had knocked the Lakers out after the Lakers knocked us out of the play-in, and so I bandwagon on the Suns. But I was sort of like, if the Suns win a ring, can like Chris Paul not get one? And now he's a Warrior, and now I have to root for him. Sounds like he's doing some good stuff for us, so that's good to hear. But I don't know. It'll take a lot for me to actually ever say that I like that cat. There's a lot of bad blood there over the years when he was with the Clippers and with the Suns. And
what are you talking about?
Chris Paul.
Oh yeah. CP3. Now that he's in the Warriors, yeah.
CP3. Yeah.
He's been good, man. He's just getting tons of assists, barely turns over the ball, plays some really, really nice defense. He's a good leader, sets people up for 3-pointers. He just he's nice to have out there, and he makes a good shot every now and then too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Bebop says Bryant met Steve Young this year on the field. Didn't you meet him too, Bash, when you were there?
I did too. I was there. Oh.
Yeah. I could have been there. It just that was the week my son was born. He was born that Monday.
Oh, that's right.
We were literally still in the hospital Thursday night. We didn't get discharged from the hospital till Friday morning. So
did you get to watch the game live, or?
I did get to watch it live. My wife let me come home. I actually did a show and watched the game, and then trucked back to the hospital afterwards. So that was good. It was nice of her to give me the hall pass to get out and watch the game outside of the hospital. I got the Steve Young jersey reverse. Yeah, there you go. Love it. Purdy is the only jersey I would buy. There you go. I would buy Kittle. He's my favorite player. But typically I wait till players are retired to buy their jerseys. I did buy this one when Steve Young was still playing, but I don't want to be a jinx, I suppose.
Hold on, Somi, you're a big pass rush guy. You're all about Nick Bosa, and you're pretty damn excited about Chase Young. I thought you'd want a Chase Young or Bosa jersey.
Well, don't get a Chase Young jersey because he's probably not going to be.
We don't know if he's going to be here next year. I get that. Yeah.
But you never know. He might. Wow, 50 drop 54 and lose shows how good the offense is. You need defense. That's absolutely true. And defense has always been a key for the Warriors because it spurs the fast break and the offense for them. So
I want to ask you this question because I know this question was on with Vish and Larry Krueger and Jesse, and they were talking about Brandon Ayuk and he's not scoring enough touchdowns, and Brandon Ayuk's having a terrible, horrible, shitty season, and blah blah. I'm like, wait, I watched the games. I think he's pretty badass, dude. I mean, at least in my opinion. Not sure he's not dominating.
Are you talking about Larry Krueger?
Yeah, and that whole conversation because like Larry Krueger saw Brandon Ayuk say that Brandon Ayuk was the best player in all of training camp, and
that was Vish and Jesse.
Yeah, and Larry Krueger, I guess, had this expectation. Yeah, this expectation that Brandon Ayuk was supposed to get 15 touchdowns this year, or some fucking number in his head. But the fact that he's not getting all these crazy touchdowns, he thinks he's underperforming. But I still think he's pretty damn good, even though he's not getting a whole bunch of touchdowns. Sure, there are a few drops along the way, but in general, I would never dare say that Ayuk's not playing good and he's not up to snuff, and we don't need him. Like, if we could try to retain Ayuk in any way possible for him, sure, I'd love to do so. Getting a phone call on my. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'd love to keep Ayuk. Now, if Chase Young wants to stick around and that gets iffy, who knows what they decide to do. I mean, that's going to be interesting. But in terms of Ayuk and his performance, I don't think I'm surprised that a lot of people belittle him so much and say that he's doing so bad and he's terrible. It's like, what games are you watching, dude? I don't know what you think, but
I think he just hasn't had a lot of targets in the red zone. And so, we've seen Kyle do that with Kittle before in the past. And I don't blame Ayuk for that. I think Larry, he pretty much got raked over the coals for that one, especially when people were bringing up, other wide receivers who only had 3 touchdowns when Brandon Ayuk only has 2. I think Brandon Ayuk's problem is that he's the 4th target on our team, on a run-first team with a quarterback who doesn't have a big arm. So, and so run first, that means that you have a lot less targets than a team that's pass first, like the Chiefs. And so there's been some talk of Ayuk going to the Chiefs or the Ravens.
No, I don't want Ayuk to go to the Chiefs.
No, I don't either, but I wouldn't be shocked if it happened.
No, I was going to say, I mean, I'm not sitting there diagnosing the all 22s and all the film week in and week out to say that, oh, Ayuk's not separating in the red zone. He's not getting open in the red zone. But, for the most part, we don't really have a problem scoring in the red zone. I don't think that's a problem for his team. I'm not sure where we rank league wide, but just from the eyeball test, just watch the games. When we get to the red zone, we usually do score a touchdown. Now CMC's been getting, a whole bunch of touchdowns here and there, and he's been carrying the load. So I get that. So guys like Kittle or Ayuk, and they're not going to get the big touchdown numbers, so to speak. But the season's still going. I mean, we played 8 games so far, and there's still plenty of time for Ayuk to get touchdowns in this season. So. And here goes Master of Any Crap. Read it for me, Ted. Go. You're muted. You are. Oh, there you go.
You guys got to try Pig in a Pickle Barbecue, the best in the Bay, according to Larry Krueger.
You have your pig in a pickle?
I've never had it, but my favorite
you should try it.
Is in Sonoma. There's a place called
all the way over there. Damn.
Cochon Volant. That's really good. It's like the flying pig, and I'm a big fan of the pig for sure.
Well, you just had to come up with some random ass place that nobody knows. I lived in the Bay Area my whole life and majority of my life, and you just brought up some shit that I never even heard of, man.
Well,
I bet you
check it
nobody in the
out.
chat knows what this is either. It's just got some fancy
Check it
French
out.
name and
Well, there
what?
was another one. There's a really fancy French restaurant in San Francisco called Saison, and for a minute they had like a barbecue like spinoff, and it was called like Saison Smokehouse or something like that, and that was freaking incredibly good.
Wow.
I'll tell you a place that has a good smoked pastrami is Mission Chinese in San Francisco, and they do a pastrami kung pao pastrami dish. So it's like got the peanuts and the sauce and these chunks
That
of
doesn't
like
sound right. I don't know. It
fatty,
just doesn't sound
crispy
right.
pastrami. It's so good, ridiculously
What's
good.
the name of this barbecue place that you like again? I was gonna look it up.
Cochon Volant,
Yeah.
Cochon Volante.
Okay. All
I
right.
had it. I
I'll check
had
it out.
it at Bottle Rock years ago, and
What's
then
Bottle
they
Rock?
opened up the store in Sonoma. It's as you're leaving Sonoma, not by the square, but you kind of go out and you make the right towards Santa Rosa, and it's on the left before
Okay.
like Sonoma Mission Inn. Really good.
Alrighty.
They have this
Well,
like this burger that's like everything on it. It's like a
but
burger
mhm.
with like brisket and like pulled pork and like every type of barbecue on the burger. It's pretty ridiculous.
So what about in the South Bay or like the general Bay Area,
I
not
mean,
in
in
random
San
ass
Francisco,
Sonoma
there's
County?
4505 meats. It's good. It's I don't know. I don't think it's that great. Um, you know, I'm trying to think where's some amazing barbecue. There's not that much in the Bay Area, honestly. I
Okay.
think there's some in the East Bay, but I haven't been to a lot of those, unfortunately.
Everett and Joe's. I never even went there. Heard about it for so many years. Never had a chance to go there.
I'm definitely down for good barbecue ribs anytime, or a really good brisket. I'll tell you, I had one. One of my son's classmates' father put together a good brisket, and I went over and helped him prep the night before. It took like 2 hours to get this sucker ready, and he cooked it in a big green egg, and then
Big green egg.
and he had like there's like some Grill Mate 200 or something like that. That's like you got a thermometer in the meat. There's a thermometer on the actual grill, and then you basically put a fan in the bottom vent of the big green egg, and you block it off other than the fan, and so like the fan adjusts the temperature, so
Regulate the temperature. I've seen
you can
those.
have very specific temperature ranges for
Yep,
it.
definitely seen that.
And then the cool thing was it was on my phone, so like I went home and I'm watching this brisket cook before I go to bed. I'm like looking at the phone. I'm like, oh, he opened up you can see where he opened up the egg because the temperature.
Yeah, they had those
quicker.
apps. So there's digital thermometers, and you can have like apps on your phone that will tell you the temperatures and all that. They're really cool. Master of Any Craft had a comment about Chase Young.
Okay. All right, here.
There you go. If Chase Young balls out, I think the Niners should pay him and cut Eric Armstead. Before 2 weeks ago, he hasn't really been that good. Talking about Armstead, yeah, I mean, he did get those 2 sacks on the last game. And Armstead is a good player. It's just that what we're dictating on in terms of how good he is just basically on how much money he makes. He makes a ton of money. It's a 5-year, $85 million contract that he's currently on. And I believe that he's not going to be an unrestricted free agent until I'm looking at it right now, not until 2025. So I don't know. We'd have to probably trade Armstead somewhere if he's the one who we do get rid of to give Chase Young that contract, assuming Chase Young does ball out and he wants to be a Niner. So otherwise, there might be some other player that we'd have to cut or release or trade or do whatever. It's gonna be interesting. We haven't crossed that bridge yet, but it's interesting to think a little forward ahead and see what would happen.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be totally opposed to that if Chase Young balls out.
Farm said has to be the fall guy. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
I feel like he's overpriced for sure. Got
He
Laura
is.
Cat in the house to saying hello. Hope you feel better, Ted. Watched you this morning with Bryant and heard about your 3 vaccines. Get well soon, dear. Oh, thanks, Laura Cat. Appreciate it.
Hello.
I think I'll be fine by tomorrow, honestly. But today was definitely rough. I think a couple more ibuprofen and a good night's sleep will help a lot. Rick Diaz was saying, I don't like Cleveland Browns at all. I don't like Giants or Jets. He was giving his whole list if he doesn't like. I don't like the Eagles. I don't like Seahawks. I don't like Kansas City.
He doesn't like any team that's not the 49ers. In other
words. Pretty much I don't like Chris Paul. Don't like Clippers, Suns. I don't like Boston. Rick has given us the master list.
Rick and Morty. Like. And Chase Master Eddie Kraft also. That comment's hilarious. Master Eddie Kraft also said Chase Young is younger. Chase Young is younger too, no pun intended. He's 24 years old, yeah, so he's still fairly young.
Yeah, makes sense. Jim Everett the Great in the house. Santa Clara Niners are doomed.
I swear, with all this pig and the pickle talk, I swear one day the content creators need to all just go there. One day, just go there and just have a taste test and see if they like it or not, see if it's good.
I mean, the brisket chili sounds good.
I actually read the reviews on Yelp and Google, and some of the people were like former Texans expats, and they were ranting and raving how good it was and all that. So who knows? And it's situated in the public market. And I used to go to the public market a lot when I lived in the East Bay, but I haven't been to the public market in years. So, and it didn't even exist back then. Back when I went to the public market.
This is in Emeryville.
Yeah, Emeryville Public Market. Yeah, that's where. There's also a location in Corte Madera. It's funny we're giving him all this free press and all this free publicity. Like we should get paid for, like Larry does.
Yeah, maybe he'll unblock me. I don't know.
We'll see. Oh, he still has you blocked?
He still has me blocked.
Man, what'd you do to him,
man? We went back and forth when he went on his show and was saying, Ted, learn these words. I was wrong about Brock Purdy, and I don't know, Larry. It's starting to
Ted,
look like
own it. Learn these words, Ted. I was wrong, Ted. I was wrong about Brock Purdy. He put you on blast on that show, and everybody in the chat was laughing. And poor Ted.
It's all right. I mean, I hope I am wrong. I hope that Brock Purdy proved me wrong, because I want a good QB. Nothing would make me happier. And I never hated him. I just hated the hyperbole. And now you can maybe see why when people are comparing him to Montana and Steve Young and Brady and Mahomes and Josh Allen, even Herbert. He's none of those guys, folks. He is none of those guys. Maybe he will be someday. I hope he is someday. But
I will say, though, Herbert, I think he has an amazing highlight reel. He's pretty badass. But there are times I do agree with some of those Niner fans. I'm not saying that Purdy's way better than Herbert or anything like that, but there are times when Herbert doesn't close out games and he underperforms, But Herbert, as far as, elite skill level, sure, he's definitely up there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Master Ernie Kraft says, my cousin played for the Jets, Freeman McNeil.
That's right, he did. That's Master Ernie Kraft's the good. Met Master Ernie Kraft through my brother, actually, and God rest his soul for my brother. But yeah, I've known this guy for years, and I had no idea he was related to Freeman McNeil. So like 2 weeks ago, he told me that.
Yeah, well, you should get him on as a guest, Bash.
I've had him on my show. I've had him on my channel.
Nice.
We did a post-game show together. Mm-hmm. I'll bring him on again. His real name's Steve. So really cool guy. He's on my Instagram.
No, I meant Freeman McNeil. Get Freeman McNeil.
Freeman McNeil. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if this guy even talks to him.
Who knows? Yeah. I mean, it's worth asking, right? You never get anything in this life without asking.
No. Maybe some other content creator probably already knocked on his door and scared him for the rest of his good ones. So.
Well, we'll see. Rick says, same Jay for a 2-year contract. 49ers can do it. The only other 49ers has the money to go for it. Fair enough. Master Kraft was laughing.
I was going to talk about Purdy really quick because, like there were several Niner fans that were on their edge of their seat, waiting for Brock Purdy's downfall. Oh, look, see, he threw an interception against the Browns, and then against the Vikings. Oh, he threw another interception against the Bengals. Oh, look, he threw an interception. It's like some of them were like doing victory laps every time he threw an interception. It's just like. Okay, I get it. Purdy may have not been your quarterback of choice, but I just don't. I think it's weird as Niner fans to celebrate or see, I told you I was right. He sucks. He's terrible. Like, I don't know. I just think it's weird when Niner fans get like that sometimes. It's like Purdy's like has a great record with this team. And if you count all the wins and losses and stack all that up, and there's way more good than bad that Purdy's done. Bashar had everyone on his show. Or Bash, he said Bash.
Interesting. Somebody says that Freeman McNeil passed away. Very underrated running back. Yeah, I guess so. Hadn't heard of that. David Corona in the house. What up, everyone? 49ers
David
all
Corona
day, every day.
Down.
Especially on a faithful Friday.
Freeman McNeil's still alive, bro. He didn't pass away.
Crown Town. Who's Crown Town?
Crown Town. Okay, so
Warriors.
He lives in Corona, and apparently I guess his last name really is Corona. Corona means crown in Spanish, so they call it Crown Town.
Okay.
In Espanol.
There you go. Is that like Corona del Mar down by San Diego? Oh, I think you're muted.
I've been to Corona before. It's east of Orange County. It's like east of Anaheim, about 20 minutes east of Anaheim or so.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Cool. Inland Empire.
It's towards that. I think it is Inland Empire, but it's definitely towards that area.
Cool. Laura Cat says Bash had everyone on the show. Yeah.
Not everyone. One day.
One day.
I had him on my channel.
No, he didn't. Javier Rios in the house saying Trey losers.
Trey lovers. Embrace the quarterback we have. It's over. It's done. I mean, look, Lance is not on the team anymore. I have no other way to slice it. I mean, it is what it is. What happened happened, and it's not like Purdy came in there and lost all 8 games so far this season. If he did, you might have a point if you want to cry and bitch and moan about it. But it's a business. Things didn't play out the way they maybe should have with Lance, and we just got to move on.
There you go. We should sign Draymond Green to the O-line. Purdy taking 0 sacks.
So Draymond Green, actually, I'm a big Warriors fan. There's a video of him when he was at Michigan State, actually, and he was on the practice field for Michigan State, one of the spring practices, and they had him at tight end. And it just looks so funny seeing him on the football field. But I guess he was a pretty good high school football player, and he had a little tryout for Michigan. I'm not sure if he just did that for fun or he wanted to play part-time football for Michigan State Spartans. I'm not sure, but there's definitely videos of him out there practicing with the team.
Yeah, I'd say tight end or D end. He's not fast enough to be a D end, though. I don't think so.
Yeah, he'd probably be a pretty good blocker at tight end.
There you go.
Well, but to play on the NBA, though, I mean, you do got to have some type of speed and some type of endurance, right? Running up and down that court.
James Durnall here from across the pond.
James Durnall.
Getting late over there. 12:30. Almost 1.
You're not confusing with Jason Kelsey?
No. We haven't done predictions yet, have we?
No. You know what? I forgot what my prediction was when I did it on I want to keep my predictions consistent. I did a prediction when I was on with Mariah and Ryan on Tuesday on Bringing the Heat, and I know it was a close score. I just completely forgot what it was, and I'm almost afraid to do a prediction right now because I want to keep it consistent. Usually, I want to keep it the same prediction.
There you go. Mine is 24-21 Niners. Had
24-21.
Yeah. I had a debate with someone. I said talent-wise, Steve Young was better than Joe Montana. I think Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Brady has the rings, but Rodgers still better overall QB. I agree with that. I think that Steve Young didn't have as good of a surrounding cast. I think years of picking at the end of every round caught up with us. Free agency caught up with us. Obviously, the concussions caught up with Steve Young, and he just had such a short career. But I think Steve Young, had more talent than Joe Montana. It's just Joe was so clutch. It's hard to quantify that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Nobody hold me to it if I'm wrong, but I think my prediction on the Bring the Heat podcast was 27-17. So yeah, it might have been that.
Laura Cat's waiting for the invite to come on the show.
Okay. Well, hey, anybody can come on. If you want to come on, let me know.
There you go.
Curious. So.
Psyched to see Chase. Yeah, I think we all are pretty psyched to see some edge help. Got Andrew Martinez in the house. He says, "What's up, Ted?" Not much, Andrew. Better now that you're here. Glad to see you. Bebop saying, "What's up, James?" Everybody's saying hi. Bebop. If we don't turn the ball over, it's a W every game. We've lost this season. We've turned the ball over in the red zone. I think it's not just in this season. I mean, maybe the red zone part is, but in general, I think Kyle has won pretty much every game where he's had positive turnovers and lost pretty much every game where we haven't. So it's a huge factor for us. Most teams in the NFL, you could say that, honestly.
Yeah, that just, just such a strong punch to the gut. We were all the way down, ready to score, and then Pretty scrambles around and freaking throws that pick right to the linebacker, Jermaine Pratt. Really sucked. Just a huge swing in that game. And I just, when I saw the play, I was like, why are two running backs running in the same formation, basically in the same area? This is, what kind of play call is this? And then they were saying that the handoff got botched. It was supposed to be running play. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I wish we would have ran the ball in that play. Yeah, so it just sucks that mistakes like that happen, and we paid a huge price for it.
Yeah, you can't have two people in the same area, whether they're receivers or running backs or whatever. Just
and now on the following throw,
easy on the defense.
And on Purdy's following throw, the one that he tried to throw to Ayuk, what's it called? Why am I forgetting the name? Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings almost ran a similar route to Ayuk. Maybe he was 5 yards ahead of Ayuk on that route, maybe 10, but it was just those two, receivers were pretty much in the general same area as well, if you think about it. And that just didn't seem like a good play call in general. And that was an actual real pass play. It wasn't supposed to be a running play on that one.
Yeah, and Juwan Jennings, 0 catches against the Bengals. That was a pretty brutal game for him, for sure. Is Steve Wilkes the weakest part of our team? I think no. I think it's Isaiah Oliver. But that's a Steve Wilkes guy, so
yeah, he brought him in, right?
Yeah, he did.
Somebody was making a joke in the chat. They said Steve Wilkes booth. Like John Wilkes Booth for Abraham Lincoln, and and Steve Wilkes likes to be in the booth. So I think it's funny.
Oh man, anybody with 3 names sounds like a presidential assassin. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Master and Crestas, regardless of that play, the refs called a penalty. Even if he completed the pass, it would have been called back. He should have thrown it away.
Yeah, because Burford was downfield. Burford was supposed to be a run play, so Burford, in that sense, was doing the right thing because it was supposed to be a running play. But everybody was just on the wrong page on that play. It sucked. It was a shitty play call to begin with.
No doubt. We got the Sentinel in the house. Make sure you check out his channel. Rodgers lost a lot of NFC championships like Steve Young. Yeah, he did. But a lot of times he didn't have much of a defense. So it's tough.
So much for defense.
I mean, it's interesting that Rodgers, Russ, and Breeze all won rings. And then once they got paid, they never won another one after that. Maybe Rodgers will be back this season to win one for the Jets.
He should just retire.
Seems like he's dead set on coming back.
I don't get why Zach Wilson sucks so damn much. I thought that guy was supposed to be good, man. And if he wasn't going to be good, at least be average. He is just terrible.
I was never a fan of Zach Wilson because BYU's O-line was like stout as hell. And he would have 4 to 6 seconds to throw every pass. And even when he threw quote-unquote 50-50 balls to his receivers, he had a 6'6" tight end and a 6'3" receiver. So, in that division that BYU plays in, they have these little DBs. So they weren't really 50-50 balls either. Their guys
had Puka the wide receiver you're referring to? Or I think he had another one before that. I forgot his name.
No, it wasn't Puka. It wasn't
He had
Puka.
some other Samoan receiver that was pretty good. At least pretty good in college. I forgot his name.
I mean, they had Tyler Algiers, who's the running back from the Falcons, was from BYU, from that team. I think he stayed on another year after Zach. I don't think he came out until 2022. But they had a 6'3" receiver, and it was actually the shorter one who got drafted. It was like shorter, he's 6'1". Mm-hmm. But let's see here. Difference between Rodgers and Young has heart, and Rodgers is a chick, I guess. I don't know.
He said, well, I gotta go back and read this.
Couldn't read that emoji. Randy Daytona made that joke. Where's Randy Daytona? We're missing him.
Oh no, yeah, usually he's here.
We need some Randy Daytona in our lives. The Sentinels
with his raps.
I think he's mad that he didn't come up for the with the name for my show with this Browns creator I've been working with, Big Mike from the Man Cave.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I did a Behind Enemy Lines with him, and he was supposed to bring
cool. I know who that is.
A Bengals creator with him, who's his Jay, who's his like counterpart on the Man Cave. And anyway, we had a good show, and people were like, you guys should do a weekly show. So we've been doing Thursdays, and we came up with a name. We're calling it Faithful Dogs. So, for Faithful the Day and the Dog Pound. So, we came up with the name yesterday in the chats.
That's pretty good, because dogs are pretty faithful, right? Man's best friend.
It's like DAWGS. Yeah, Faithful Dogs.
That's cool.
Dogs. Yeah. Brock's so much better. I came up, we had a bunch of different iterations of it. And I had one like where I said the Mistake by the Bay, because they're the Mistake by the Lake. Or I said Cleveland Brocks, the Cleveland.
Well, the Browns are just a mistake anyway, in general. So.
Oh, they got a good defense. This is gonna be interesting. I mean,
they beat us.
Them against the Ravens is the other big game this week, along with us. Those are two biggest matchups. We'll see if they turn out to be the biggest games, but the kid is actually tough. Yeah. Zach Wilson, like I said, he had tons of time to throw and really tall receivers, and I just wasn't that impressed. I scouted all the quarterbacks that year: Trey Lance, Zach Wilson. I already knew Trevor Lawrence, so I didn't scout him, and I knew he was going to go number one anyway. But Justin Fields, Mac Jones, and I never liked Mac Jones. I just felt like he was carried by his weapons. I felt like he was like the Jimmy G of Alabama.
Well, Zach Wilson, I mean, shit, man. Mac Jones was just spoiled in Alabama.
Yeah. Plus, he had the DUI and some other sort of red flags character-wise. 97 Niners should have won. Yeah. No doubt about it. Hail 49 reminded and Ted. Thanks, Sentinel. We appreciate it. Javier Rios.
What's up, Sentinel?
Okay, let's get serious. What do you all think of having Steve Wilkes on the field going to do? Well, we talked about that a little bit. I was saying that I don't know that it's the right move, but hopefully it is. Hopefully it proves me wrong.
I mean, at the end of the day, whether it's the right or wrong move, I knew something was going to happen, because the 3-game skid of losing those games, and it looked like all fingers were pointed towards Steve Wilkes, right? And maybe in some opinions, maybe that wasn't right if the linebackers were missing a whole bunch of tackles. But I mentioned earlier, I'm going to repeat what I said earlier, just for the people that missed it. In training camp, Steve Wilkes was very active on the field, coaching people on the field in real time, face to face, in person. And he got a lot of credit for that in training camp, for looking like he was very communicative with his players. And they are saying that Shanahan doesn't do that at all on the field during practice. So maybe it will help us. Maybe, Steve Wilkes will do a lot more of that, in the regular season games, being on the sidelines. Maybe that will he'll be able to see body language of players, better communication with players in general. So I don't know. They got to do something different. They got to figure out a way to get the defense right.
There you go. Got Brandon Frigno in the house saying, what's up, fam? Make sure you check out him. Niner Faithful, Forever Faithful.
Forever Faithful podcast.
That's right. And
Brandon and his world famous dance moves at his sister's wedding, man.
Oh boy, look out. What else? James Ronald's asking, what's our record coming out of the bye? I think Kyle's never lost after a bye, but I don't know that we've ever played a team after a bye that was coming out of a bye themselves. So this is an unusual situation. It's unusual that we play 4 teams coming off byes this season: the Browns, the Bengals. This will be our 3rd, the Jags, and there's a 4th after that. So,
and it ain't no lie. Bye.
Pretty crazy that, you know, when teams only get 1 bye, that somehow we got 4 teams coming off of theirs. That's
whoever did the scheduling for us is an idiot.
They jammed us for sure. Remember those years when Montana was leading the Niners Super Bowls? Defense were hard hitting. 84, the best defense in Niners history. I believe they went 15-1.
Very true. They had a great defense that year.
Yeah. Enough to shut down Dan Marino, which is no easy task.
That's one of the most underrated NFL all-time defenses, by the way. The year we beat the Miami Dolphins in the Super Bowl.
I feel like 89 was really good too.
It was, but that defense was ranked really, really high.
And the thing to remember about 84 is that was 1 year before we drafted Jerry Rice. So no Jerry Rice, no John Taylor, no Brent Jones, no Rathman.
Dwight Clark and Freddie Solomon were the wide receivers. Mike Wilson was like the 3rd wide receiver, I believe. Russ Francis was a tight end back then. RIP Russ Francis, by the way. Passed away recently.
Lorcat said good show with him yesterday. Thanks, Lorcat. Yeah, we have fun. It's a good setup. It's always good to have somebody from outside the Niners echo chamber to talk to make sure that we're not just telling each other what we all want to hear.
We don't fight or argue enough on here. We gotta.
You and me?
Yeah, we gotta start fighting with each other or something. Make it more entertaining.
Well, do a bad take and I'll tear you apart to shreds. But if you're doing good takes, I can't.
I was imitating Larry Krueger for you earlier. I thought that would set you off.
Oh, I just have to laugh at Larry at this point. Faithful Dogs, yeah, that's the name of the show there. The Faithful Dogs. I like that. That's got a good ring to it. Montana to go through New York Giants, Lawrence Taylor, 85 Bears to beat Miami in the Super Bowl. Look up Montana's stats. Does he have a better postseason than Marino?
Good question in the chat. I'll go ahead. I'll follow that up when you're done.
A lot better. I mean, Dan Marino's postseason is not very good. You know, because Dan Marino had no run game and he had no defense. So go ahead. What were you going to say, Bash?
It was about the George Seifert question. Why isn't George Seifert in the Hall of Fame from Sentinel?
I think because people felt like it was mostly, you know, he won 1 Super Bowl in '89, you know, where basically Bill Walsh turned over the reins to him. And then they finally won again in '95. But a lot of people credit that to Dion.
I don't know. I mean, they make it sound like you could put any NFL head coach in there and they would have still won the Super Bowl too. I don't think it's that easy. I just don't.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I hate how people discredit George Seifert. I really do.
But Hall of Fame, I can kind of see it. Why? I mean, but I guess you got to remember that George Seifert was there for the other. He was the defensive.
He was a D coordinator for the other Super Bowls. Yeah.
For the other Super Bowls, yeah. So based on that, I'd probably give it to him.
I would say just the overall body of work, man. The overall body of work should count. And it usually does.
Leadership is a problem. Kyle in his playbook. Wilkes wants to be close to the cafeteria. Saul and Ryan's might have been rah-rah guys, but those guys were leaders. Absolutely. Alberto Soto in the house saying, what up, fam? Welcome.
I'm not really worried about the cheerleading, yelling and screaming and cheering people on. More just like talking to the players, you know, and coaching them up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Oh, Bebop, it wasn't 4 teams in a row because Browns, Bengals, Jags. It's 3 out of 4. But the Vikings weren't coming off a bye. So, and then the Cards are much later in the season. Everybody's just saying hi. Well, I think we've kind of covered what we need to today. What do you think, Bash? Anything, any burning desires, anything that I may have missed?
Yeah, we pretty much did. We can sit on here and babble for the next 24 hours if you want to. I mean, it's up to you. Otherwise, you can get some rest. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's probably a good time for me to.
We didn't sing any songs. I mean, last one I was on with Aaron. We are just singing every little song there could possibly be. I guess with you, it's like a night and day. we don't do any karaoke stuff on here.
I mean, we can. I don't have a very good voice, though. I'm definitely not a good dancer.
Especially now that you're under the weather. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we fighting in the chat, guys?
I mean, it happens a lot. Oh, we got Ryan from No Border
Ryan
Sports.
from No Border Sports. Presente. He is here. He's live. So yeah, I'm ready to go when you are, man.
Cool. Well, I'll just say thank you to everybody who showed up. Thank you, Bash, for being my weekly co-host. And peace and go Niners.
Yes, sir. Go Niners. Get that W in Jacksonville.